I am going to be examining bullet journaling as an affinity space. There are several characteristics which qualify bullet journaling as an affinity space, including a shared passion for the art of bullet journaling, multiple portals which can be accessed using digital tools, content organization which is transformed and then created by other users, meaning that people can pick and choose the aspects of bullet journaling they love in order to really be creative and individualize the process. And there are also many different forms and routes to participation with varying ways for newbies to become leaders or masters of the bullet journaling community themselves. Finally, bullet journaling knowledge is distributed and becomes available through various spaces for all users. Let's begin with bullet journaling as a passion. From YouTube to Pinterest to Instagram and blogs like WordPress and Tumblr, and even generic web pages, people everywhere are flocking to the idea of cataloging their activities, organizing their to-do lists, and planning for the future. What sets the bullet journal planning system apart from other planning systems is that users typically start with a blank notebook, mapping out, writing, and organizing as they go. The notebook can be lined, gridded, dotted, small, large, or medium in size. It can be spiral bound, leather covered, or even a simple composition book. The idea is that the bullet journal becomes an all-in-one place for monthly planning, to-do lists, trackers, and future logging. Users can also use it as a diary or journal in which they record daily happenings. The 5 major parts of the bullet journal are the index, the page numbers, the logs, the collections, and the bullets themselves. Users begin the bullet journal by numbering all of the pages, or just a few at a time, and then by including these pages in their index so that they can flip right to the areas they want to work on or reference. The logs, both future and current, are calendars which users create, and these can be simple or ornate, and that tell them what they have planned for the future, as well as the things that are currently planned. Collections operate as lists for bullet journalers. There are a limitless amount of collections users can create, like grocery lists for every week, items to purchase for an office or a classroom, as well as lists of books to read or concerts going on near them. Finally, there are the bullets. Even though the original system has a very specific way to create the bullets, each user typically comes up with their own way of creating the bullets, which makes sense to them and which suits their own purposes. Typically, users will have one symbol which means tasks, another symbol which means events, other symbols which means the tasks have been moved to other days or canceled completely, and still one more which means the task has been accomplished. One of the things which has attracted so many people to the art of bullet journaling is that though the idea, parts, and goals remain the same for each user, there is a lot of flexibility in how Bujo junkies go about achieving them. For example, some users prefer that the first few pages of every bullet journal are the future log, which is a list of the monthly engagements and activities they must complete during each month of the year. Others prefer to begin their journal with a more targeted monthly spread, an organized list of things which must be accomplished during one month in particular, while still others will choose a daily approach, not creating their future logs as separate pages, but instead writing what they need to accomplish in the future and at the current time on daily lists. But all bullet journals must begin with the index, which keeps the page numbers for each of the items included in the journal and helps the user keep it organized. Even within the logs and spreads, the look and feel of the bullet journal has been readjusted and customized from what it looked like when the first master, Ryder Carroll, created the bullet journaling system. Other bullet journalers, newbies, masters, and in-betweeners alike, have created new websites, pages, Pinterest boards, and more to showcase new and unique ways to use the system. Some use different colors to organize their future logs and monthly spreads. Some users use these areas to experiment with calligraphy or hand lettering. Still others use these areas to draw pictures, decorate with stickers, or organize using washi tape. Truly, the options are endless and can be taken up and modified with each new user. There are both analog and digital portals which present the idea of bullet journaling to users as well as allow them to interact socially with others within the bullet journaling community. I first heard of it from my department head during a conversation in which we were discussing the constant problem of having my plans in one place and my to-do lists, random reminders, meeting notes, and grocery lists in multiple places and on multiple pages. Since then, even as a newbie, I have invited other users to look at my ideas and have started researching and experimenting with bullet journaling via paper journals and have also joined the fandom on social media. There are a plethora of digital portals which allow newbies and masters to discuss their affinity for bullet journaling, as well as occupy the same affinity space. I have looked at various techniques, reviews of journals, pens, and how-to videos on YouTube, but I also have a Pinterest board dedicated to the subject. Other portals include Twitter and Instagram, where the hashtag BujoJunkies or bullet journaling will retrieve beautiful images, ideas, and modifications on the original system. Masters of bullet journaling then occupy the same space as newbies and are happy to share information, but they are typically defined as masters because they have created a new bullet journaling website, social media account, or other space in which they are writing, showing, or telling about the way they bullet journal and how it works for them and can work for newbies too. In the classroom, teachers and students might consider what contributed to the rise of the bullet journaling era and analyze how they might be able to incorporate these ideas into the classroom. For many users, it was the idea that they could use a blank notebook and create a system which worked for them. They didn't have to obey somebody else's rules, but they were there if they needed them. They could be as creative or as bland as they liked. They could create more pages for things they enjoyed writing about. They could create more space on one list than another. And they weren't confined to the way planner companies thought they should plan. They could include information which mattered to them, water trackers, food trackers, weight trackers, and take out things which didn't matter to them, but which were included in the typical planner. Things like travel times, metrics, measurements, and time changes. Basically, the bullet journaling system provided enough structure for users to be successful in their planning and goals, but not so much that users felt constrained. Where they needed more space, they created it, and where they needed less, they deleted it. In the classroom, this system could be replicated as providing students with more choice and more opportunities to complete assignments in ways which work best for them, but while meeting the same standards as other students, thereby providing students with options and opportunities so that everyone can succeed in meeting the same standard, but without all students having to complete the same task the same way. For example, if I want to assign a speech for students to present in the classroom and then for their peers to answer questions on, I could offer multiple ways for students to complete this project. Since all students must meet the speaking and listening standards, but some have stage fright in front of the classroom, while others simply can't listen when something is only spoken audibly, a way to provide choice might be for students who have stage fright to record a video, and for students who have a hard time listening to be provided with a visual or written copy so that they can refer back to the speech and make notes after the orator has finished speaking. All in all, bullet journaling qualifies as an affinity space because this is a passion which unites all people. The technique of the journaling can be modified or changed completely to fit the journaler's needs. There are many portals and routes to participation in the art, both analog through conversation and digital through websites and social media. And newbies and masters can work together in these spaces, sharing information, creating new ideas, and maintaining the supreme goal of organization above all else.